Hello and thank you for joining me. Let's get started. If you can sit comfortably, we're going to start with some shoulder circles. So inhale as you lift those shoulders, exhale as you gently release them down. Do take time for your shoulders to settle. Maybe use that inhale to lift, the exhale to settle. Letting any of that tension of the day go. Don't feel like you have to try too hard with these movements. Just lifting those shoulders on the inhale, exhaling, letting them settle. We're going to take these shoulder circles onto hands and knees next. So if you can join me on your all fours position. Setting up with the hips just above the knees, the shoulders just above the wrists. Just gently lengthen into the lumbar and engage your tummy to support your low back. We're going to start to do our shoulder circles from here. Try if you can to keep your elbows straight. Now you don't have to lock them out, you don't have to try that hard, but try not to bend your elbows. Gently rolling through the shoulders. So we're doing shoulder rolls but with a tiny bit of load through the joints. If that's working for you, try rolling them forwards. Noticing shoulder blades moving through the back, noticing collarbones moving, noticing joints moving, and roll the other way again. So rolling the shoulders in that backward motion. Again, feel those shoulder blades drawing down your back. Nice. Gently back to hands and knees again. Let's just gently start to look over our shoulder towards our ankle and then look over the other side towards the other ankle. So starting to gently look side to side, turning through the neck and getting a little bit of side bend into the body as well. Bringing your spine back to neutral and let your head nod forwards, let your head hang. So really do encourage that release. Tuck the chin to the chest. Let the back of the neck really lengthen. Imagine the joints in your neck just separating out, finding space in between every one of them. Let the crown hang towards the mat. And then start to think of your neck in 3 different parts. The base, the middle, and the top of your neck. So start to rebuild the base of your neck in line with the rest of the spine. Then start to pull the mid-neck back in line with the spine and then the upper neck. So the back of your neck is gloriously long and in line with the rest of the spine. So your gaze is just between the fingertips. Then gently allow your head to nod forwards again. Duck through the nose, duck through the head, through the forehead, and let that hang out a little bit. Maybe give your head a wiggle or a wobble if that feels nice. This really works if you can connect with that release of tension. And rebuild again using the base of the neck first, then the midsection, then the upper section into neutral. So that chin should be drawing in and the back of the neck elongated. Let's go one more time. Gently nod. Allow the crown to drop down towards the floor. Maybe a little gentle look left and right if you wish, before you relax that neck and head and start to rebuild through the base of the neck, the mid-neck and the upper neck. And then back to child's pose for a moment, just to loosen off. Stretch those fingertips forwards, stretch those sit bones back. Perhaps relax your forehead onto the mat. Deep breath into the body. And then join me on the forearms and the elbows into that Sphinx type position. Okay, so from your Sphinx, we are going to draw our shoulder blades right down our back towards our bottom. So think about the muscles at the base of your shoulder blades and feel them draw down. That opens the front of the chest and gives us a nice proud chest. Shoulders down away from ears, neck long. We're going to then just nod the head forwards and relax and release it again. So really truly let it go here, let it hang out. Again, give it a wiggle or a wobble if you want to. We're then going to re-engage our shoulder blades, draw them down to the bottom, drawing down at the base of the shoulder blades, opening the chest, push proud out of the shoulders, and then slowly start to rebuild the neck from the base, the mid-neck, and the upper neck. So again, your gaze is just between your fingertips there. And allow your head to relax and nod forwards. Redraw shoulder blades down. Open collarbones wide. Push proud from the shoulders. Start to lift the back of the neck. Base, midsection, upper section. If your tailbone is lifting and your lower back is compressing, think about tucking the tailbone down a bit. Maybe squeeze the glutes and draw the pubic bone up towards your belly button a little bit. So relax through the head and the neck again. We're going for one more round here. Truly let the head relax and release. Take that moment to let the back of the neck elongate. And then draw shoulder blades down your back. So we start to engage mid-back. Open collarbones, push proud out of shoulders. And then slowly start to rebuild the neck from the base, the mid, and the upper neck. Lovely. Gently relax down towards your chest. Bring your hands either side of your chest and see if you can push up to kneeling plank and then to plank. Push to downward dog, lifting your hips and bottom up towards the ceiling and letting the head hang. Push through the hands, lifting that tailbone nice and high. Good. Find a nice stretch for spine. Anchor through the ankles and heels. Lift the tailbone. Look between your legs. And gently come back to hands and knees as you find your way to a seated position. Let's move on to a little bit more stretching now for the head and the neck position. So let's bring our hands just to the sides of the body. We're going to gently tip our head to one side. Now when we've got tightness in the neck, sometimes you find that your shoulder follows you over it, hunches up towards your ear. So if that's happened, just reset, draw the shoulder blades down to the bottom, and then again, just gently tip and tilt your head. Settle into the breath here. Focus on the lengthening effect down the side of the neck. So the tip of the shoulder and the earlobe kind of getting further away from each other. Now whichever side of your neck is stretching, take that same hand and slowly start to tiptoe the fingertips away from your hip, just out to the mat beside you. And as you stretch the fingertips away, gently walking them away, you'll feel the neck lengthen further. Now we're going to play with the fingertips. You can either tiptoe them forwards a little bit and you might feel that stretch come into the back of the neck. Or you could start to kind of arch the fingers back somewhere behind your hip. And again, you might still get that in the back of the neck. You might feel it more in the front as well. But have a little play. Find a position that works for you. And that can feel different day to day. So we're just encouraging the side neck to loosen off. The side and the back of the neck do a lot of work, don't they? Holding the head up for us throughout the day. So a little bit of stretching can just be really nice for that pain relief. Slowly start to bring the hand and the fingertip back in to rest on the lap. And then ever so slowly bringing the head back up to centre. Lovely. I would just give your shoulders a little roll here. If you're feeling a bit delicate, okay, that's quite normal. We're stretching quite deeply in the neck. Let's maybe take a few looks up and down, checking in with neck function, and maybe a little look left and right. Because it's quite a shock. Our neck hasn't been in this position for a while, I'd expect. Let's come back through to centre and have a go on the other side. So again, we're releasing hands to the side of our body. Sitting nice and tall, let's just remind ourselves of that tall spine, bringing our crown above our tailbone, and tip and tilt your head to the other side. Once more, reminding ourselves, if that shoulder's lifted with us, to draw shoulder blades down to bottom and set shoulders low. Finding that length, focusing on that length as your ear travels away from the tip of your shoulder, and we get that gorgeous stretch down the side of the neck. And then when you're ready, maybe starting to tiptoe those fingertips away from the hip. And as they get further away, you'll feel that stretch increase. It's a lovely feeling. Keep relaxing your shoulders down away from ears. And then stop to play with your angle. So you might like to tiptoe those fingertips forwards in a little arch. Or maybe arch them backwards behind the hips, somewhere to the mat behind you. And again, there might be a place here that you think, oh yeah, I want to hold there for a little bit, and try and release and lengthen into that neck. It might be that that position moves or it feels better, so you want to move somewhere else. Holding for a few final breaths. And then we slowly bring the fingertips back in, hand rests on the lap. And then really slowly, no rush, rebuild that neck back up to tall again. And a few rolls with the shoulders to loosen that out. Let's go for a few looks up and down. And then a few looks left to right. So leading with your chin rather than with your nose or your forehead. Gently taking that side to side. Bring that back to center. Interlock the fingers, stretch up, take a nice deep breath in. Part the hands and release. Thank you for joining me.